Yeah, this is a great match. Rhea dominated as she should. This kind of reminded me why I like Rhea Ripley so much. And Ransom gets 8.5 and Logic to 7. So
these guys beat the fucking crap out of each other. My God. I watched this match twice. One of the times I had to take notes for this match. There was just so...
Lost the North American Championship before challenging for the NXT Championship, because that's the way logic works.
Tony Khan said himself, who cares about the rules?
We care about the fucking rules because this is Life's Opening Radio Road Break. This is all about rules.
Yeah.
Life's Opening Radio Road Break. Thank you, Ben, for that. And now we're gonna go to the next match, which was a dream match between Bryan Danielson and the New Japan World TV Champion Zack Sabre Jr. There's something on my screen. This is to prove who's the best technical wrestler in the world, and this is a very good match. Not as it wasn't the best thing on the show necessarily. I think that goes to Swerve versus Hangman, even with the little criticisms that I gave. The crowd was much more alive. Personally, I thought the wrestling was way better on that match than in this match. I'm not saying that this match was bad in any way. This match was really good, but it wasn't better than Swerve and Hangman. But anyways, the match starts. They were playing footsies. What I mean by that is they were like, they weren't trying to get too close and make a mistake. They were trying to get the right hold so that they can get in. One of them could get an advantage over the other. Then Zack Sabre Jr. put in a wrist lock. Bryan Danielson did a pump handle suplex. Zack Sabre Jr. put in the wrist lock again. He went for the Cobra twist, but then Bryan Danielson countered with his own. Zack Sabre countered Bryan Danielson's Cobra twist with a wrist lock. They had more technical wrestling. Zack Sabre Jr. did something arrow special. I couldn't hear Nigel McGuinness say it, or whoever it was say that move, but he did that. Bryan Danielson powered out, and then he put in his own something special. Zack Sabre Jr. escaped. He put in a bow and arrow, and Bryan Danielson escaped. They had a stare down, and then Zack Sabre Jr. told a dude in the crowd to shut up. Shut up! And then, that voice that he does, that's so funny. Narita! They locked up again. Bryan Danielson got a rope break. Zack Sabre Jr. did an uppercut. Bryan Danielson did two forearms. They had a 1-2 exchange. Bryan Danielson threw forearms with his bad arm. I think it was his right arm. Zack Sabre Jr. did something to, injure that right arm. And then Zack Sabre Jr. stomped on the bad arm. He jumped on it. And that looked pretty nasty. They replayed that spot. Zack Sabre Jr. twisted the bad arm. He broke his fingers, Bryan Danielson's fingers, did some mock kicks. They replayed the finger break. Bryan Danielson reversed the hammer throw. He put in a single leg crab, but then he couldn't commit because of his bad hand, which Zack Sabre Jr. injured. He locked Zack Sabre Jr.'s knees and then stomped on. He jumped on them. So yeah, it's difficult to explain. You'd have to watch the match. He does yes kicks to the bad leg, does 2 dragon screws. The second one was quite nasty. Oh man, that was nasty. He went for the third one, but then Zack Sabre Jr. countered with a neck crank. He hit a basement drop kick. They replayed the dragon screw. Bryan Danielson put Zack Sabre Jr. in the tree of woe. He did hammer and anvil elbows at the top turnbuckle. Then Zack Sabre Jr. caught the last one, and then he tried to snap his arm. His right arm. No, his left arm, sorry. I was doing that with my left arm. Zack Sabre Jr. puts in a wrist lock. Bryan Danielson escaped. Then he hit an avalanche butterfly suplex, and that was cool. I like that. He hit a roundhouse kick. No, sorry. I'll jump way over. Bryan Danielson went for the label lock, did a single leg crab with Zack Sabre Jr.'s arm trap. Zack Sabre Jr. got a rope break. Bryan Danielson did yes kicks. He missed a roundhouse kick, but then he hit a second one, and that was nice. He stomped while holding both. He held both Zack Sabre Jr.'s arms like this, and then he stomped on him with the one foot. And then Zack Sabre Jr. countered the cycle knee with a pin for a 2 count. Bryan Danielson went for another pin, got a 2 count. They simultaneously switched holds. Zack Sabre Jr. got a pin for a near fall. Bryan Danielson did a cycle knee in the corner. Zack Sabre Jr. countered the second one with a drop toe hold. He went for the pin, but then Bryan Danielson countered with cattle mutilation. I think that's what Nigel McGuinness called it. And then Zack Sabre Jr. escaped from that. Bryan Danielson did some more hammer and anvils. Zack Sabre Jr. cranked the arm. He went for the fingers again. Bryan Danielson escaped, and he put in what looked like a figure 4. I'm not sure if that's what it was. Then Zack Sabre Jr. also simultaneously puts in the figure 4. They were butting each other's heads. Then Bryan Danielson spit in Zack Sabre Jr.'s face. Zack Sabre Jr. slapped him. Bryan Danielson slapped him back, and then nearly knocked out Zack Sabre Jr. They kicked each other. Zack Sabre Jr. did an uppercut to Bryan Danielson's arm. They had a 1-2 exchange. Zack Sabre Jr. put in a backslide for a 2 count. He did a PK to Bryan Danielson's bad arm. That was cool. Zack Sabre Jr. countered a psycho knee with a Michinoku driver. That was cool. And then he put in what I think was a Uma Prada. That's what they said on commentary. I'm not sure if I've spelt it correctly. Bryan Danielson got a rope break. They replayed the PK. Zack Sabre Jr. does some more PKs. He jumped on the back arm, does even more PKs. Bryan Danielson did a roundhouse kick. He hit another one. He held both hands of Zack Sabre Jr. and stomped on him. Zack Sabre Jr. put in a Jujigatami. Then he put in disarm him. I don't know what's the actual hold is called. I just know it as disarm her because Becky Lynch does it. He goes back to the Jujigatami, Zack Sabre Jr. Bryan Danielson escapes. He does a shoulder capture suplex, which I've never really seen before. That was cool. He hits a psycho knee for a near fall, fires himself up, and then he hits a psycho knee for the win. This was a really good match. This wasn't better than Swerve and Hangman, but it was still a very, very good match. I don't know why it took three psycho knees to beat Zack Sabre Jr. Should have just been the one, and that's it. It's called a finisher for a reason. Zack Sabre Jr. champion, he lost, but you know, with how good this match was, that cancels that whole thing out. So I gave Ras an 8 and Logic a 9. This was a very good match. And now Ben with his thoughts on this match.
Oh my goodness, how do I begin to talk about this match? Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., the anticipated dream match of the decade at this rate. My God, these guys beat the fucking crap out of each other. My God. I watched this match twice. One of the times I had to take notes for this match. There was just so much good stuff happening in this match. I had to rewatch this match twice. Now, a lot of people are going to say, are you going to give a good rating for this match? You damn right I'm going to give a good rating for this goddamn match. This match is getting a 9.5. 9.5. Logic 8. This match was excellent. No complaints at all from me from this match. This match was the best thing on the entire show. And I am actually glad that this wasn't the main event because they were saving the big surprise at the end. So that's good. I'm glad they did that. So, my thoughts on Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., two of the best wrestlers in the world. Man, it ain't changed, man. Bryan Danielson got the win, and I want to see a rematch between these two expeditiously. Where at? I don't know. But I will tell you where it should not be at, and that is at Full Gear. I don't want to see that shit at all. Because apparently they're trying to set up something where Zack Sabre Jr. and, let's say, Danielson, they get a rematch, right? The thing is, I don't want to see it at Full Gear. No, I don't. Because it does not deserve that kind of match. Like, Full Gear is not a bad pay-per-view, but I don't feel like it deserves that kind of platform. I know Full Gear is going to be in LA. Okay, so, yeah. I know why Full Gear is going to be in LA. They want the big matches on that show. I get it. But I just don't want to see Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. at Full Gear when Zack Sabre Jr. is going to win anyway. And then, you know, they're going to have a blow-off match, the third match in the trilogy. And they can have it probably at Revolution somewhere. I mean, this was a dream match, but it depends on how AEW books Danielson. Because remember, Bryan Danielson will not be part-time after this year. So literally, Bryan Danielson's on borrowed time, essentially. So I'm trying to see if they will do the rematch. But other than that, if they do the rematch, take my money. Great match. 9.5. Wrestling, not 9.5. Logic an 8. This match was excellent. And this is a match of the year candidate right here. If y'all thought Omega and Ospreay was great, oh no, y'all ain't seen nothing with this match. Go watch this match expeditiously. This match was excellent.
I watched the 6-man tag between Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus Sammy Guevara, Will Ospreay, and Konosuke Takeshita. And it was a good match, but they kept ignoring the rules. Referee Aubrey didn't even enforce it. Don Callis' team, by the way, Don Callis still employed. His guys were Ospreay, Takeshita, and Sammy Guevara. They were Ospreay put in the abdominal stretch, and then they all pulled him. He held Sammy Guevara's hand, and then Takeshita held Sammy Guevara's hand, and then Don Callis held Sammy Guevara's hand. I can't even remember. But they were all pulling Will Ospreay so that he can get leverage and pull Kenny Omega even harder. That may sound a bit sus, but and Ref Aubrey was counting, and then she got to 4, and then instead of counting them out straight up, she kicks it away. Like, why? Why get physical in the match? Just end it right there. just DQ'd him at that point. Like, damn, man. She let so much happen. People weren't even tagging in. They were fighting and they weren't even legal. There was only a tag rope on Callis's guy's side. And yeah, it was just a mess. But other than that, it was a pretty decent match. So I will give wrestling 7.5 and Logic a 3 because of all that stuff that I just mentioned. So yeah, here's Ben with the full review of this match.
All right, everyone. Our next match was the 6-man tag between Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Chris Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, who joined the Don Callis family a couple of weeks ago when he turned on Jericho at Dynamite Grand Slam, which we will review in its entirety on a separate video. It is Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, and I believe Will Ospreay. So apparently they're going with Will Ospreay in the Don Callis family. So apparently the United Empire just got bought out because last time I checked, as of recently, Will Ospreay is all elite. Last time I checked. So, I don't know about this because, look, the United Empire, they're an entire separate, they're their own group. I get it, but they do not need to be in the Don Callis family, with all due respect. And also, Konosuke Takeshita's theme song. Come on, change this man's fucking theme song. It's one note. It's awful. This man couldn't come out to fucking Avenged Sevenfold or fucking Metallica or something. Put this man onto some actual theme music. Please. Good Lord have mercy. Give this man a real, legit, believable theme song. I'm sick of this mosquito theme he has. Come on, stop it. Change this man's theme. Ridiculous. Moving on here, I have notes for this match, which I will go over right now. So, Sammy and Jericho, they go back and forth. Omega and Ospreay, they go back and forth to start off the match. It was pretty good, chain wrestling, so we start, the whole thing. Sammy and Jericho, they get a brief exchange in the ring. Sammy flips off Jericho. We did get stereo cross bodies from every member of Omega, Jericho, and Ibushi to the outside, onto everyone at the Don Callis family. So the Don Callis family, they get the heat on Omega, so they do an abdominal stretch. I don't know who the hell did the abdominal stretch, but I know it was probably Takeshita or somebody. Omega tries for a tag, but Sammy drags Ibushi off the apron. So there you go. Omega tags in Jericho. Jericho finally gets his hands on Sammy Guevara. Jericho does a bulldog, and then they do the abdominal stretch chain of their own. So Kota Ibushi makes a tag. So we get some double team from the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Jericho gets tagged in. Omega and Ibushi does moonsaults. And Jericho hit a lion salt on Guevara, which I thought it was over. But then Jericho goes for the lion tamer. Takeshita then drops it with a German suplex. Dropped him on the back of his head, which did not look good, by the way. Takeshita does a German suplex to Kenny Omega. I believe... Hold on. Jericho and... Okay. Ibushi does the Chaos Theory, which is Chad Gable's move, I believe. He also did a German. So, yeah. There you go, everybody. He did Chaos Theory to Takeshita. So, there you go. Jericho knocks Takeshita to the outside. Kenny hits the Terminator Dive onto Ospreay and Takeshita on the outside. Back in the ring, Sammy goes for the Spanish Fly, and he hits the Spanish Fly on Chris Jericho, and he gets a 2 count. Sammy goes for a shooting star press on the floor to Kenny Omega, which he does hit. Omega gets hit on the outside. Jericho tries to pin Sammy after a couple of moves. Will Ospreay breaks it up. Omega and Ospreay go face to face again. Takeshita and Ospreay, they kick ass and they clean house. They destroy everybody in the match. Sammy Guevara hits a code break on Jericho. Got a 1 count. Don Callis' family beat up Jericho 3-on-1. Who was this fucking referee? Oh, Aubrey Edwards was your referee. She got distracted twice in this match. Another $500 fine, Aubrey Edwards. Also, another fine as well because she looked like a fucking geek in this match. What the hell was she doing letting 3 other men attack 1 other man in the ring? What the hell was that? Automatic fine. Come on, Aubrey Edwards. You gotta get better. Come on, please. My goodness, give me a fucking break. Ospreay, Hurricane Rana's Omega on the outside. Takeshita hit a forearm to Ibushi. He also hit a clothesline as well. Ospreay hits the Sky Twister press. And then back into the ring, Jericho hits Ospreay with the Judas effect. Sammy Guevara, he gets Sammy on the ropes. Jericho does a Hurricane Rana, but Aubrey Edwards gets distracted by Ospreay, which I mentioned earlier on. Sammy goes for the GTH, gets countered into the Lion Tamer by Jericho. Don Callis comes in from behind. He hits Jericho with his own baseball bat. So Don Callis, another $500 fine. Holy fucking shit. Also, another fine for Aubrey Edwards. 3 distractions in this match. 3. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make this stuff up. Sammy Guevara makes the cover, and he pinched Chris Jericho again for the 2nd straight time in 3 weeks. So, congratulations to Sammy Guevara. But unfortunately, this will still not get him over. I gave this match This was a decent little 6-man tag. I give this match a 6. Logic, probably a 2. That's the best I can give. Because holy shit, Aubrey Edwards getting distracted 3 fucking times, and she looks like a damn buffoon in that fucking match. I don't know what the fuck was she doing out there. Jesus Christ. She could have had a fucking deer fucking distract her and shit. Give me a fucking break, huh? My goodness. Fucking ridiculous. These referees has got to improve over the next couple of weeks. I'm sick of these fucking awful referees. Ridiculous. Enough is enough. Anyway, that's the match.
This episode of Rope Break is interrupted to advertise Life's Open Radio certified bangers, a roller coaster of music consisting of drum and bass. Turn up. Indie pop. Pop and R&B. Soundtracks. And anything else that comes to Kgabo's mind, as well as world news and special guests. You can listen to Life's Opening Radio certified bangers every Sunday afternoon on Spotify. Back to your regular scheduled programming. Thank you, Ben, for that. And now we're going to go to the next match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. FTR, the champions, consisting of Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Aussie Open, consisting of Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. Dax and Kyle started. They locked up. Dax got a rope break. He put in a hammerlock. Kyle put in a hammerlock. Dax put in a side headlock. Fletcher put in a headlock. He hit the ropes and did a shoulder tackle. They had more technical wrestling. They did a leapfrog sequence, and then Dax Harwood did a shoulder tackle. Cash made a tag. Aussie Open discussed their next move. They locked up. Cash and Kyle Fletcher. They broke it up. Fletcher goes after Dax. They did a leapfrog sequence. Fletcher retreated to ringside. They got back in the ring. Cash roughed up Kyle. He did a back body drop on him. Dax made a tag. They did a double team on Fletcher for a 2 count. They replayed the back body drop. Fletcher did a body slam on Dax Harwood. Mark Davis made a tag. He chopped Dax. He gave him some chops. And then Mark Davis threw some. Dax threw some chops back, and then Mark Davis threw some chops. They exchanged chops. Mark Davis did a slam. Then he did a senton. He went after Cash Wheeler, got a 1 count pin. He did a chop and clothesline combo in the corner. He threw Dax into the corner. Kyle made a tag. They exchanged chops. Dax did a snap suplex. He did a leg drop for a 2 count. And then Cash made a tag. FTR chopped Kyle, both of them. Mark tried to interfere, but then FTR put them down. Dax roughed up Mark. Cash roughed up Fletcher. Aussie Open did tandem throws. They fought at ringside. They got back in the ring. Fletcher went for the pin, and then Cash kicked out immediately. Aussie Open roughed up Cash Wheeler. Mark Davis made a tag. He did a PK to Cash's spine. Cash made a comeback, and then Cash and Fletcher had a 1-2 exchange. Davis made a tag. He threw Cash into the ropes. Then Fletcher did a assisted power bomb, and then Mark went for the pin and got a 2 count. Davis put in the chin lock. They replayed the throw and the power bomb. Fletcher made a tag. Davis missed a senton. Cash inseguried whatever his name is, Davis. He tried to tag Dax Harwood. Cash did. Fletcher shoved Dax off the apron. Cash did an avalanche back suplex. They replayed that spot. Cash tried to tag Dax, but then Davis yanked Dax off the apron. Fletcher did a brain buster on Cash for a 2 count. Mark did a tag, got a tag. He roughed up Cash. Cash did an uppercut. Fletcher did a tag, got a tag. He stopped Cash from tagging, and then Cash did a back body drop on Kyle. Dax made a lukewarm tag. He punished Fletcher. Mark made a tag. Aussie Open did an assisted GTS. They hit their finish for, I think it was Coriolis, for a near fall. And then Kyle made a tag. They replayed the Coriolis. Cash pulled Davis out the ring. Dax rolled up Fletcher and got a 2 count. Fletcher escaped a powerbomb, and then Dax hit a slingshot powerbomb on Fletcher for a near fall. They laid down selling. They replayed that spot. Cash made a tag. Fletcher escaped the superplex. Aussie Open double teamed Cash for a 2 count. Davis made a tag. FTR did a superplex and frog splash combo. Cash made a pin, went for the pin. Fletcher broke it up. They all laid down selling. They replayed that spot. They had a 2-4 exchange. Aussie Open did a double lariat on FTR, and then they double lariated Cash. Dax blocked Aussie Open's Coriolis. Cash put Davis in the cradle pin, got a 2 count. Aussie Open hit a shatter machine. They hit Coriolis. Mark went for the pin. Dax broke it up. They replayed the shatter machine and the Coriolis. Aussie Open double suplex Dax. Dax foiled a double team. FTR hit a spike pile driver to Mark on the apron. They struggled. Cash and Fletcher had a struggle at the turnbuckle, and then FTR hit a super shatter machine for the win. This was a good match, but I think it went way too long. It should have gone like 15 minutes max. But yeah, wrestling I gave 8 and Logic a 7. I'll give you to Ben to give his thoughts on this match.
My thoughts on the FTR match. Kgabo obviously have reviewed the FTR match, and he also reviewed the main event, which the main event I thought was actually pretty good. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it was pretty good. I did not expect it to be pretty good, but Christian Cage retained, so, hey, they have that happen. And then Adam Copeland came out after, so you guys don't know who Adam Copeland is. He used to be known as Edge in WWE, so Adam Copeland is All Elite, everybody. Great. No complaints from me at all. So the FTR match, I gave an 8. Logic, probably a 6 for that match, except for that power driver spot, and that was really like the only takeaway from the whole Logic thing, but that did not need to happen. I thought Kyle Fletcher's neck broke like almost in half at that power driver spot. That did not look good. I'm sorry. That looked about as brutal and as painful as I expect. And I'm not even a wrestler. And I'm glad I'm not, because holy shit, I'd probably be paralyzed. Yeah, that FTR match was pretty good. Also, the main event was pretty good as well. So I gave the main event a 7.5. I feel like that this could have been a little bit built up better. Now there has been some build for this match, but not to the point where like Christian Cage has been getting massive heat, which I do appreciate. I'm glad he is. And that's good for Christian Cage. Christian Cage is doing probably some of the best work. Probably not of his entire career. I wouldn't say that, but I would say this is the best Christian Cage has looked in a long, long time. And, normally I would be hating on Christian Cage, but I'll be honest with you, the boos that he gets, very impressive for a ex-WWE guy. Very, very impressive. I will say that. Yeah, pretty good main event and a pretty good FTR match with Aussie Open, which I'm not surprised whatsoever, but it was not better than their match at Royal Quest 3. It is not better than that. It is nowhere better than that. I feel like that match was better and it had a better story in the match. So, yeah. Yeah. There you go, everybody. That is AEW WrestleDream 2023, which hopefully you guys enjoyed. This was a pretty damn good show. I will rewatch this show again and again and again. Excellent show. No complaints up and down the card. Pretty damn good show, except for probably a couple matches here and there, and probably to Konosuke Takeshi's theme song, which goes like this. No. Change this man's goddamn theme song. Change this man's damn theme. I'm saying this for the last time on this show. Change his theme. There needs to be a petition. There needs to be a rule. There needs to be a law to change this man's theme song expeditiously. I cannot stand that theme song. It's ridiculous. It's one note. Can he come out to a Japanese metal song? Can he come out to Hiroshima for fuck's sakes? Please. Jesus Christ, do something. Change this man's theme. Other than that, pretty good show. Pretty damn good show.
Thank you, Ben, for your thoughts on that last match. And now we will go to the main event of this pay-per-view. And this is a 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW TNT Championship. Christian Cage, the champion, versus Darby Allin. They started the match. They stared down. The match had only started and already I could see blood trickling down Darby Allin's face. They locked up. Darby Allin got a rope break. They locked up again. Sorry, I just have to lower the volume. It's a bit loud. They locked up again. Christian Cage got a rope break. Darby Allin did a sitting wrist lock. Christian Cage got a rope break. He spit at Darby. Darby did an arm drag and then he put in the wrist lock again. He put in a side headlock which he had firmly locked in. Christian Cage escaped by shooting him off and then he hit a back elbow. He gave him a kick, chopped him twice, threw some punches. He choked Darby with his foot. He taunted, and then a fan had Christian Cage a fan had a sign which said Christian Cage still a better dad than my father. And I don't know how your dad is gonna take that. I don't know. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Christian keeps doing this thing where he says, "Your father's dead," and you know that's actually funny, even though we've officially named him as a "get off my TV" personality. But yeah, Christian Cage flips off the crowd. He does a chop. They do ducking and dodging. They block each other's finishers and stuff like that. Darby Allin covered Christian Cage's face, rolled him up, and got a 1-4 out of 3. He needs one more to become the TNT champion. And I thought it was the end. I was like, what? Is that the end? I was so ready to give this a 0 rating. I thought Ben would have also given this a 0 rating, but I didn't, and Ben probably didn't. I don't think he would, because this was actually okay. Anyways, Nick Wayne's mom was in the crowd. Christian Cage got back in the ring. He was... hey man, what's up? All that type of stuff. We'll get into that later. They lock up. Christian Cage slapped Darby while Bryce Remsburg, the ref, one of Ben's favorite referees, tried to break them up. Christian Cage slapped Darby Allin. He threw him with the right hand. He choked Darby in the corner, and then Christian Cage did a hammer throw and then actually flipped Darby over. He kind of hit Darby Allin hit the turnbuckle like Kevin Owens would when he does a cannonball. So yeah, and he sold the shit out of that hammer throw. So that was nice. Christian Cage went for the pin, got a 2 count. He raked Darby's face. Darby Allin was laying over the second rope, and then Christian Cage stood on his shoulders and then taunted. He did some kicks. He roughed up Darby Allin some more, raked his face some more and stuff like that. Darby Allin tried to make a comeback. Christian Cage shut him down. He did whiplash where Darby had his back to the ropes, and then Christian grabbed him by the back and then dropped down and pulled him like that. And yo, Darby sold like a rag doll for that. Christian Cage missed a diving headbutt. Darby Allin hit a code red for a near fall. He did multiple pin attempts, and then Christian Cage threw Darby out the ring. They fought at ringside. They got back in the ring. Christian Cage tried to riz up Nick Wayne's mom, and then Nick Wayne's mom threw water on him. Darby Allin did a nasty dive. I love when he does that dive because he throws himself. No shit's given when he does a dive on the other guy. He'd seem like a bullet. I'm like, man, it's so nice when he does a dive, Darby Allin. He does a coffin drop at ringside. He tries to do a second one in the ring, but then Christian Cage had his knees up. Darby Allin was shoved onto the announce desk from the apron. I almost said what I wrote there looked like it was saying Kevin Owens, but it's Christian Cage. Christian Cage set up steel steps at ringside. And then Christian Cage tried to slam Darby onto the steps. Darby escaped and got back in the ring. They struggled at the apron, and then Christian Cage gave Darby a thumb to the eye. He threw Darby to the foot of the steps. He slammed Darby onto the steps, slammed him again, and then Doc Samson tended to Darby Allin's wounds. And yeah, it was pretty nasty, the shit that he took from Christian Cage. They replayed Christian Cage's onslaught on Darby Allin, and then Darby Allin got counted out. He got counted out because he ordered Bryce Remsburg to count Darby Allin out. That's the only time he's ever really followed the rules in this match. He gets way more egregious later in this match, which I'll talk about just now. And then Christian Cage is taking the ring apart, unlatching the mattress. It's not a very thick mattress, by the way, so those of you that think that wrestling is fake, don't get your hopes up, because it's really, I think it would still be painful if you were thrown 5 feet onto that canvas with that mattress on. Imagine that would probably kill a man or a woman or a person for that matter. More medical staff came to Darby Allin's aid, and then what really irked me about this is that referee Bryce Remsburg, he didn't even see in the corner of his eye what Christian Cage was doing, and he looked a couple of times in Christian Cage's general direction. But is there no peripheral vision with these referees? I know Jessica Carr, I gave her a pass because that was a triple threat match, so that Asuka splitting the mess was technically legal, not necessarily morally right, but it was legal because triple threat, the rules are more lenient in that type of match. I've always found that bizarre. By the way, with that triple threat rules, the first time I noticed that it was for the North American Championship way back in 20. Yeah. It was with one of Roderick Strong, Velveteen Dream, and someone else. Probably Dominic Dijakovic or someone like that. They were having a match, and then I found about the Champion's Advantage, that the Dream didn't have to be pinned, or Dijak didn't have to be pinned to lose the belt. And yeah, I was like, what the hell kind of rule is that? And I remember being so pissed when Roderick Strong won that belt. Oh man, like bro, like they had real heel heat with me. I was still kind of new to the business at that point. I was only like a couple weeks into being a wrestling fan, so yeah, my bad. Excuse me. And my computer just freaking crashed for no reason. But we will continue with this match. I may have to pause, but yeah. That's enough rambling from me now. Let's get back to the match. They put Darby Allin on a stretcher, and then Christian Cage did a frog splash on him. The people chanted, "Holy shit!" They replayed that spot. They got back in the exposed ring. Christian Cage hit a kill switch on the exposed canvas. He missed a spear. I think he actually went for the pin and got a near fall, and I didn't like that, because if you're gonna hit your finish on an exposed canvas, no less, that should be the win. Non-negotiable. The guy shouldn't even think of kicking out, because then it completely nullifies having taken the ring apart and hit your finish on that exposed canvas. So I thought that was some BS, unless my notes are wrong. Anyway, Christian Cage missed a spear. Christian Cage countered a code breaker with a scorpion death lock. Darby Allin got a rope break. He slapped him. He gouged Christian Cage's eyes. He hit a scorpion death drop. He hit a coffin drop for a near fall. Actually, yeah, this is what I didn't like. So all that stuff that I said for the kill switch, just pretend I said that here right now with the coffin drop. That was absolute BS. Christian Cage hit a sunset powerbomb. He speared the referee. Ben must have loved that. He must have been so happy when Bryce Remser got speared. Christian Cage did a low blow. He took the belt. He flashed it to Nick Wayne's mom. And then Nick Wayne stole the belt. He got in the ring and he was yelling at Christian Cage. And then I wrote Nick Wayne there. It's not Nick Wayne. It's Darby Allin that got hit with the belt, and I was surprised. I was like, yo, that's crazy, bro. Sorry. Inside my mouth is itchy. That's all. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get back to that now. He turned heel, and then Bryce Remser came to, and then Christian Cage went for the pin, and then Bryce Remser was like 1, 2, 3, because he was still coming to from that spear that Christian Cage gave him. And he beat Darby Allin to retain the belt. And then, I'm like, I guess Nick Wayne has a real dad now, and he's betrayed his mom. Christian Cage offered for Nick Wayne to sacrifice freaking Darby Allin. Sting heads to the ring. He beats up Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Then Luchasaurus comes to Christian Cage and Nick Wayne's aid. And then they all beat up Sting. Christian Cage moves out of the ring, gets 2 chairs, and y'all know what that means. It's a concerto coming along. He set up a concerto, and then but then the lights went out. And then a movie played, which I didn't think needed to happen. And then the lights come back on. Oh no, this was the perfect... Give me a second. And then... Edge is back. He's in AEW now. And everybody went crazy. And yeah, it was whole thing. Wow. Yeah, and even though I saw that he came back before I even watched this match, I was still excited because it was such a crazy moment. And I can't imagine what it was like in that arena when his music hit. And then, yeah, I'm so happy he's in this company. Oh, it's actually Adam Copeland. That's what they're calling him in AEW. I understand that's what they call him because, you know, WWE has the rights to his name. Is that, but yeah, whatever. Where was I? He confronts Christian Cage. And then, yeah, he offered his hand, and then Christian Cage gave him the chair to beat up, to give Darby Allin a concerto, but then he turned it around. He hit, he hit Nick Wayne with the chair, then he threw it at Luchasaurus, then he speared Luchasaurus, and then he speared Nick Wayne. And that was nice. Christian Cage retreated up the ramp, and then yeah, they all ran away like scalded dogs, as Jim Ross would say. And yeah, he shaked Darby Allin's hand. He shook Sting's hand. And then WrestleDream went off the air. This was a very good pay-per-view. This was way better than All Out. This was better than All Out and way better than Double or Nothing. This was a good pay-per-view. This match gets Wrestling 7 and Logica 2. Yeah, this match is getting a low rating because in terms of logic. Because, you know, all that stuff that I mentioned already. But yeah, this overall pay-per-view is getting Wrestling at 8.5 and Logic a 5. 8.5 and Logic an 8. This was a good pay-per-view, I must say. And yeah, Ben, your thoughts on this match and on this pay-per-view?
All right, my thoughts on the main event of Darby Allin versus Christian Cage for the TNT title, 2 out of 3 falls match. This was a pretty good match, but this was not the best match on the whole show, though. But I will say this, Christian Cage is incredible. His heel run right now is probably some of the best things on AEW TV. This guy is so believable as a heel. He doesn't care about nobody but himself. He only cares about those that he likes, and that Christian Cage will do absolutely everything in his power to make sure the other guy is just about as miserable as he is. That is sign of a good heel. I mean, this is the best Christian Cage heel run since, 2011 when he was on SmackDown pissing off Teddy Long every fucking week. That was some of the best shit on TV. That was awesome. Christian Cage as a heel was fantastic. In 2011, if you guys remember that shit, that was great. I had no problem with it, really. But yeah, I just feel like this is a renaissance of Christian Cage. This was not Christian Cage's breakout match. This was not his coming out party. But I will say this, however, the match was great, and Darby Allin got some good spotlight. Christian Cage got a great match out of Darby Allin, as always. So yeah. That's not much I could complain about. And then Nick Wayne turns on Darby Allin, which I did not have a problem with at first. I don't have a problem with it now, to be honest with you, because Nick Wayne needs that kind of mentorship. And I don't think he was going to go anywhere with Darby Allin mentoring him anyway. I think he was trying to, I think Darby was trying to make Nick Wayne into him in some ways. Not all the way, but some ways he was trying to make Nick Wayne more like a Darby Allin prototype, a protege of some kind. So I'm glad the heel turn happened, as a matter of fact. Some people complain that Nick Wayne is not going to get over as a heel. Oh, no. He's going to get over. He is going to get over. And the reason why I say that, Christian Cage is this man's mouthpiece, and he's going to talk for him. Nick Wayne does not need to be cutting fucking promos every fucking week. Absolutely not. No. And then afterwards, Adam Copeland come out. You guys know the deal. Adam Copeland returns to AEW. And I'm excited to see where they go with Adam Copeland. And the way that Adam Copeland has been being booked so far, he's been booked pretty strong. It's not like he's been booked like a geek, a loser, a guy who does not belong in AEW. He feels like a main star attraction, like every time he's on TV, which is good. That's what Adam Copeland should be. So I have no problem with that at all. Anyway, Adam Copeland beat up Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne. He stares down Christian to end the show. What a hell of a show, man. What a great WrestleDream show this was. Magnificent show. 8.5 out of 10. My rating for this show. Magnificent show. I will rewatch this over and over and over again. And I think this show was better than I think this show was better than Forbidden Door. I think this was better than Forbidden Door. Omega and Ospreay, and then Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., 2 match of the year candidates right here. But I think WrestleDream was overall the better show, because Forbidden Door did not really have a lot of build into it. WrestleDream had a lot more build than Forbidden Door did. So I'll say that this show was probably the best show for AEW all year. So there you go. Damn good show. 8.5 out of 10, my rating for this entire show. Great show.
Thank you, Ben, for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Ben's company on this episode, as always. And I hope you guys enjoyed this new intro that I've made. And I guess the 2 certified bangers ads that I've thrown in here, even though you may be sick of them already. But yeah, check out The Mysteries of Life. As part of Ben's stuff, and his newest podcast, the Musical Circle podcast. There were a bit of complications with the last episode that just came out, but yeah, it's out at least, and at least it's out, and we don't have to worry about it. Check out Certified Bangers. This song right here. As heard on the latest episode, well, not exactly, as heard of episode number 95 of Live Shopping Radio Certified Bangers. And yeah, we got some big plans these next 2 weeks for this program, so y'all better be looking forward to that, because I sure as hell am. Ben is, Josh is, hopefully Josh is, and yeah, it's gonna be big, it's gonna be huge. I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah, we will be back next week for Fastlane, possibly with Josh, and hopefully he does turn up, and he will have a normal episodes that's different to these. These episodes have been different to the ones we usually do, where we recorded one shot, then that's it. Other than throwing in my Certified Bangers ad, I don't do much in terms of editing. But yeah, but with this piece of crap you see in front of you, that's kind of difficult to record it one shot as I would usually do this. So until I get a better computer this is gonna be how it works. And yeah, with it crashing, it's unpredictable when these episodes will come out, but we will try our best next week because Josh will record on his side. Hopefully, I have asked him, so then at least we can get it out from his side, and yeah, it'll be as normal. And yeah, in any ways, yeah, check out Certified Bangers next week, Fastlane, and then the following week, New Japan Royal Quest 3. And by the way, I forgot to mention that FTR and Aussie Open match was literally a year apart from the first one. It took place on New Japan Royal Quest 2 last year, on the 1st of October 2022, which unfortunately we didn't review because I wasn't into New Japan at that time. But yeah, we will definitely review this coming New Japan pay-per-view, and we will also review their next pay-per-view, which is going to be Lone Star Shootout. So look out for that in terms of New Japan content. And yeah, on behalf of the main host, sorry again, I messed up. The main host of the Mysteries of Life, a recurring guest host on Live Open Radio, Certified Bangers, the assistant host of this podcast, Live Open Radio, Rope Break, and my good friend Ben Charles. This is Kgabo signing out.